some of you, you may be unfamiliar with LexisNexis Risk Solutions as a brand, but you may be more familiar with our brands like Acuity, Percosoft, or Banker's Almanac. And we have an example of the original Banker's Almanac at the back of the hall here. In 2021, LexisNexis Risk Solutions merged with Acuity. It was a sister company of ours, and it made business sense to bring together the two powerhouses. Sister company of ours, and it made business sense to bring together the two powerhouses to offer our clients a much broader portfolio of solution lines. So our main solution lines are in financial crime compliance, screening, our KYC, counterparty risk analysis. We also do fraud detection, fraud mitigation, and identity management, and then also our payments efficiencies. We're going to touch on each of these areas as a joint effort to discuss, like I said, the challenges and opportunities that this market poses to you and also to ourselves and the regulators in the market. So again, a very big welcome to each of you, and I thank you very much. Looking forward to today's session. Thank you.
All right, that was very, very straight to the point. Unlike some of us who can talk from now to tomorrow, Don just went straight to the point and made you understand how important all of this is. And this is some of the things we are doing as a matter of fact. Thank you so very much, Don. Please, can you put your hands together for Mr. Donovan one more time? Clap, clap, clap. The more you clap, that is more of the spirit. I mean, we are in the risk business. We need to be sure that we are very much alive to deal with a lot of these issues. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad because he had mentioned that there is a need for us to do all kinds of interaction. I'm glad that we have delegates all the way from different aspects of Africa and, of course, the world in here today. And, of course, we have companies represented here: Fidelity Bank, DI Africa, AB Microfinance Bank Nigeria, Card Remit, we met earlier on, BGISL, Sabi, Fidelity Bank, of course, was mentioned earlier on, Network International, Konga Pay, Panoramic Synergy Enterprises. We also have individuals from FCMB, and one of them are going to be our speakers and panelists. Stanbic IBTC Bank, we recognize you. Jumia, pardon me. Jumia is in the house also. Main Street Capital, Gateway Mortgage Bank, GT Battlement Guarantee Trust Bank Limited, and of course Sterling Bank, Pastel African. We have Lemfield, Cheaper Cash is also in the house. Flutter Wave, Brooks and Revin Attorneys, Quick Check, SID Digital Limited, AB Microfinance Bank Nigeria, we recognize you as well. And we also have First Icon Mutual Capital, unlike some of us who can talk from now to tomorrow, Don just went straight to the point and made you understand how important all of this is. And this is some of the things we are doing as a matter of fact. Thank you so very much, Don. Please, can you put your hands together for Mr. Donovan one more time? Clap, clap, clap. The more you clap, that is more of the spirit. I mean, we are in the risk business. We need to be sure that we are very much alive to deal with a lot of these issues. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad because he had mentioned that there is a need for us to do all kinds of interaction. I'm glad that we have delegates all the way from different aspects of Africa and, of course, the world in here today. And, of course, we have companies represented here: Fidelity Bank, DI Africa, AB Microfinance Bank Nigeria, Card Remit, we met earlier on, BGISL, Sabi, Fidelity Bank, of course, was managing director in her own right. She is the vice president of FinTech NGR, and she will be helping us speak on the topic, the regulatory imperative. Please put your hands together for Dr. Jamila Sharif Ayedum as she comes up. The more you clap, the more less risky she will walk up. It's always good to see you, man.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Jamila Sharif Ayedun. I am the Vice President of the FinTech Association of Nigeria. I'm also the Managing Director and CEO of Credit Registry. And it is my honor to be here today. First, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the organizers of the event. Thank you, Lexus, for the opportunity for this incredible event. I'd also like to extend apologies on behalf of our president, that's Dr. Stanley Jacobs. He is the president of the FinTech Association. He's unfortunately not able to be here today, but he does extend his sincerest regrets as well as his best wishes to everyone for a successful event today. Dr. Stanley is actually the one who has planned to deliver the keynote address today, but he has asked for me to come and deliver on his behalf, and it is my pleasure to do so. So without further ado, I will go directly into his speech. Good morning, distinguished guests, regulators, industry leaders, innovators, and stakeholders. It is an honor to address you today at the Risk Ready Nigeria 2025 conference on the topic that stands at the heart of our collective mission, and that is building a resilient, inclusive financial ecosystem, harnessing AI, regulatory innovation, bank and fintech collaboration in a digital age. In the past 2 decades, the Nigerian payment landscape has seen banks leverage advanced technology for the delivery of financial services. Our regulatory framework is moving faster and evolving at the speed of innovation. And some of the dreams that we had on this topic of financial inclusion has started to see momentum. Over the past 2 decades, we are now beginning to see a reality. Nigeria has over 220 million people, with 64% still unbanked and underbanked. Mobile money transactions, they've reached 59 trillion naira in 2024. Over 400 fintech companies operating in Nigeria today. The Central Bank of Nigeria progressive regulatory approach has positioned us as a leader in the African market, or an African continent. We have a strong grasp when it comes to financial services and the principles behind it. And there's a higher prevalence of this that actually occurs in the northern parts of Nigeria. This, unfortunately, has created a historical mistrust of financial institutions. Also, higher on top of that, you have the language barriers and the cultural barriers. But honestly, in spite of these challenges, we have seen the creation of exciting competitive advantages in our landscape. For example, some of those competitive advantages that we have here in Nigeria is a mobile-first population. We also have a very young demographic, and we have a regulatory environment that is willing to allow for us to innovate, and that becomes our unique opportunity. So let's talk about some of the opportunities to innovate. AI is actually going to be a great equalizer when it comes to driving transformation in our applications. Let's talk about a few of those AI advantages that we can benefit from. Credit scoring, that is one. Traditional credit scoring has actually been able to be augmented. Traditional scoring only covers about 90 to 95% of Nigerians because they're oftentimes not in that system. But it's began to advance, begins to improve, because it has deliberately introduced AI-powered alternative data sources such as mobile utilization payments. It's also looking at various utility payments. It's also incorporated social commerce activity in order to assess creditworthiness. And now creditworthiness is happening literally in minutes. Fraud prevention, that is a big topic here today. Real-time transactions and behavior monitoring is going to allow for us to be able to detect unusual patterns to be able to reduce fraud losses. This is going to be critically important as we continue to evolve in the market. And then the third one is personalized financial services. AI-driven financial coaching in local languages creates opportunities for customized product recommendations. It's going to allow for improved cash flow management and for small and medium businesses to thrive. As the industry advocates, we campaign for responsible AI implementation. This is going to be so critical because it's going to curb biases that we can often find with algorithmic decision-making. It's also going to allow for transparency to happen in a lot of the automated processes that we will begin to adopt. Most importantly, it's going to drive industry compliance when it comes to data protection in our regulations. So let's talk a little bit about some of the regulatory progressive approaches. Some of the success stories that you probably are often hearing right now is around open banking. So the open banking framework, we actually are quite optimistic about that. It has positioned us to be able to roll out open banking across Nigeria. We believe that this would enhance and secure data sharing between institutions. It's also going to allow for new revenue streams to be created and promote innovation while maintaining customer protection. The future of these priorities is also something to acknowledge. We're going to have the need for embedded finance regulations. This is whereby we have to have clear frameworks for all of the non-financial institutions that are not necessarily regulated by the central bank, but they're offering financial services to people. We need to make sure that there's regulation behind that. Cross-border payments, of course, that is a major one, ensuring that we have streamlined KYC and AML for the diaspora remittances. Digital asset frameworks. This is going to be urgent in the areas of balancing innovation and customer protection. And then lastly, under this regulatory area is data localization requirements, preserving Nigeria's sovereignty while also enabling global connectivity. The one that I think resonates really well, because many of the players are in the room today, this is having a strong bank and fintechs collaboration. We need to move from being competitive to being cooperative. Banks and fintechs can find various ways to cooperate. I'll elaborate. Platform collaboration is one area where core banking rails to consumers is going to be an opportunity for fintechs to be able to collaborate and be able to facilitate an API marketplace. Co-creation is another area, offering white labeled solutions such as wallet as a service, customer acquisition, specialized products, and other initiatives can also create opportunities for strong collaboration, shared revenue models, and prioritizing the customer in the solution. Here's some other areas just to put in top of mind. Emerging collaborations can happen around climate finance. This is where banks' capital, fintech's innovation, and its reach can actually collaborate in order to create green lending. SME banking is another opportunity. Combined credit assessment and risk management, allowing for that to be able to enable SME banking. And then insurance distribution, we talked about that a little bit, insurance companies in the room. So insurance distribution, leveraging customers of the banking space, those who have a footprint in the system, and being able to distribute your services through a fintech insurance platform. I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to actually go through our president's recommendation. He has actually recommended a few things for various stakeholders in the market, and so I'd like to start with, first, the policymakers. One is to create a regulatory fast track for innovation, being able to demonstrate that we can improve financial inclusion, giving them an opportunity to fast track when it comes to regulatory requirements. Develop cybersecurity standards. This will be needed for a robust environment, but not stifling innovation in the process. And then invest in digital literacy programs, particularly for those in underserved communities. Dr. Stanley also goes forward to provide some recommendation for financial institutions. One is to embrace API first. We need an API first architecture. This is to enable easy innovation to our fintech partners. Invest in staff training. We have to do that when it comes to digital technologies and partner management, because collaboration is going to be key. Develop innovation labs and partnership programs. This is specifically to allow for that collaboration to emerge. And then measure success beyond the traditional metrics. We need to begin to include financial inclusion impact as one of the things that we measure so that we can increase upon that. Of course, he didn't leave out fintech companies. Fintech companies' recommendations that he'd like for you to take away is to build compliance into product design from day one. It should not be an afterthought. Focus on sustainable business models that can scale without consistent funding. Prioritize interoperability. This is going to be very, very, very important so that as we're innovating, we're not creating new silos. And then engage with traditional financial institutions as partners. They already have the trust. They already have the ability to reach the customer. This is also incredibly important. It's going to facilitate the growth in financial technology skills. Develop impact measurement frameworks. This is going to allow for us to track progress when it comes to inclusion goals. And then finally here is to foster cross regulatory innovation and deepening the bank fintech collaboration. We can create a digital economy that works for the prosperity of everyone here in Nigeria. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you on behalf of Dr. Stanley.
Hello. Thank you so very much, Dr. Jamila. I'd like to invite Mr. Donovan to please come up quickly for us to have this moment, and so that we don't take you back up and down. This way, madam. Thank you. Please, can you put your hands together one more time for her?
Into product design from day one. It should not be an afterthought. Focus on sustainable business models that can scale without consistent funding. Prioritize interoperability. This is going to be very, very, very important so that as we're
Okay, gentlemen and lady. Okay, you have two ladies. Wow, these are powerful people. All right, please come up to the front a bit. Yes, that line. Great, great. All right, please smile, the risky smile. That is going to. Thank you. Well, fantastic. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, you can put your hands together for them. These are the members that make up our faculty. They will be doing so much, as a matter of fact, for us. And also a big thank you to Dr. Jamila on behalf of the president of Nigerian FinTech Nigeria. Effective risk management in Nigeria requires a strong regulatory framework. The regulatory imperative plays a crucial role in ensuring compliance, mitigating risk, promoting sustainable growth by adhering to regulatory guidelines. Organizations can also build trust and enhance resilience while driving economic stability. And this is very important
fostering regulatory innovation, and deepening the bank fintech collaboration, we can create a digital economy that works for the prosperity of everyone here in Nigeria. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you on behalf of Dr. Stanley.
Hello. Thank you so very much, Dr. Jamila. I'd like to invite Mr. Donovan to please come up quickly for us to have this moment, and so that we don't take you back up and down. This way, madam. Thank you. Please, can you put your hands together one more time for her? She said so much. I mean, AI collaboration is just one of those key words and the buzzwords beyond that. But we're going to have to create a resilient and inclusive ecosystem. Great. So can we please point to the screen and scan the QR code? The QR code is going to give us access into Slido. Are we there yet? Hello? Hello? That is more like it. Are we there yet? Who has got into Slido yet? Make sure your phone is original, or the camera is actually has to be cleared. So make sure you have it clean so that you can capture it. I can't even find the QR code reader on my own phone. Okay, I think this should give you, I hope I have that grabbed. And have you been able to get into Slido? Did it work? All right, great. There is a spot where there is a question. Can I have my team actually beam up that question? After this, we will go into the game section, and I'm going to ask my team members from LexisNexis Risk Solutions to help me out with that game section, which is going to be behind. Of course, I'm going to call on Dr. Jamila to help us lead the way. So what single threat keeps both your fraud and compliance teams awake at night? Wonderful. False positive reduction. Money laundering. Really? Money laundering? Is that, it keeps you guys awake? All right, this is impressive. LexisNexis. This is here with the solution. All right, which other response? Identity theft, breach, deep fake. Okay, that is impressive. Sanctions. All right. Are these the threats? Hello, are these the threats? Are you responding to the answers? Are these a threat? I'm not even sure if cyber fraud, who wrote false positive reduction here? Let me see your hands up. You are the one that typed false positive reduction. Don't be afraid. Let me see your hands up. Who responded with false positive reduction? Are you telling me that a ghost from the clouds answered that question? Who did? Okay, money laundering, breach, identity theft, insider fraud, what class screening, deepfake, account takeover. That's a serious. Human trafficking. That's an interesting one. That's a major threat for fraud and compliance teams. Human trafficking, yes. I can imagine in terms of how the funds actually goes in across borders. Remote access of accounts. That has to do with borderline issues and challenges. Account takeover, breach, remote access. They are major mention of that as sanctions. Okay, great. This is impressive. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for yourselves. This is what we want to happen, especially with this engagement. These thoughts and comparison that you've actually shared will help us form in terms of our data in our own post-event analysis, cyber fraud, money laundering. And on your Slido, which you've just had access to, there is a command where you need to ask questions. So if have any question you want to ask, please kindly just beam it on that Slido and we can have it on the screen, and the LexisNexis Risk Solutions team will help us with the answers and solutions. The guys in the booth, can you wave your hand? I think they are discussing business or dealing with